Now, some people, mistakenly, I believe, think that now that we have Barack Obama as president, that we live in a post-racial society. And I don't question the people's motive. I trust that they're sincere. I just believe they're wrong. See, I don't think we're in a post-racial society when a white minister can get up in Arizona in the pulpit and announce that he prays for President Obama to die, and not only die and go to hell on videotape. See, I don't think we're in a post-racial society when, according to the Justice Department, a hate crime is committed every hour. And I don't think we are in a post-racial society when a Louisiana justice of the peace won't marry a couple because they're interracial. I think his excuse was, I'm worried about what happened to the kids. Yeah, let's see about that. They may grow up to be Tiger Woods or Halle Berry or the mayor of Washington, D.C., or the president of the United States. Spare me of that worry. We have a long way to go. We have a very long way to go. Because we live in an imperfect society. Condoleezza Rice, whom I don't quote often, called it America's original birth defect, that we have struggled to have our actions match our rhetoric. Look around you. According to the National Asian Pacific American Legal Defense Consortium, although white men are only 48% of the college-educated workforce, 48%, they hold 85% of the tenured college positions, 86% of law firm partnerships, more than 90% of the top jobs in the news media, and 96% of CEOs. Don't get me wrong, many of those people deserve to be where they are. But too many women, too many Latinos, too many Asian, too many African Americans have been excluded for reasons that have nothing to do with competence or merit. Young people, this country is not going to change until you take the personal responsibility to clean up this mess that my generation and generations before me created. That means that we have to consciously alter our behavior. I know some of your professors say, think outside the box. I never say that. If you think outside the box, you might end up with another box with people who think outside the box. Throw the box away and decide that you're going to live differently, that we're going to remove all these false barriers. I just want to talk about my own limited background, where I came from. Or at least it was limited at one point. When I went to Sports Illustrated in 1970, I pretty much had grown up in an all-black community in Alabama, segregated. And there were some other young people who started Sports Illustrated with me who also had limited background. I'm thinking about Larry Keith, a proud graduate of the University of North Carolina, and has an accent to prove it. I'm thinking about Ron Scott, who's a Mormon from Utah. I'm thinking about Kent Hannon and Stephen Salter from Indiana, and Jim Kaplan from Boston, and Don Delaquana. We all had very limited backgrounds. And in a way, we were competing for the same promotions. But once we got there, not only did we work together, we played ball together, we partied together, we danced together, and we had a good time. And to this day, most of us are still friends. We didn't go out and set up a program saying we're going to interact with people different from us. We're just simply saying, I like you. and that's enough. And I'm not going to prejudge you. And I think that you have an opportunity to bridge some of these gaps. You never know where it'll take you. I had a guy named Craig Trickstead in Washington. White guy who grew up in a farm in Minnesota. We had the same interest, helping young people get into journalism. And we ended up being and remain best friends now. I was going to Boise. He was getting married in Lewiston, Idaho. And I was going to Boise, and his ladies were shining shoes at the airport. And they said, where are you going? I said, I'm going here to be the best man at my friend's wedding. One of them said, I bet you he's marrying a white woman, isn't he? I said, yeah, he's white. Think about that. Think about that. We can't imagine somebody of the opposite race who could be your maid of honor or your best man. That's where we must move the conversation to. And not just black, white either. We got to talk about expanding the whole pie for everybody, include Latinos and Asian and certainly Native Americans. We need to re-engage ourselves, and we need to re-engage others. I think that's the lesson from Martin Luther King.